An episode of This One Time in Kankakee from the WVLI Podcast Network will start right after this. Support for This One Time in Kankakee comes from the Kankakee Area YMCA. The Kankakee Area YMCA is more than just a gym. It's a movement of thousands of people making positive changes in their lives and their community. The YMCA is Kankakee's premier provider of family health and wellness. Become a Y member today at their location on Kennedy Drive in Kankakee or at k3ymca.org. For youth development, for healthy living, for social responsibility, the Kankakee Area YMCA. Support for This One Time in Kankakee comes from Raven Spring Media, where method, media, and mindfulness create impact. From video production, photography, animation, and team building, Raven Spring Media creates compelling content that captures your brand's unique story in a strategic way. With over 20 years of visual storytelling experience, Raven Spring Media brings together creative expertise and a fresh perspective to every project they undertake. Begin your story today at ravenspringmedia.com.
This one time in Kankakee, I went to jail for hunting.
Welcome to This One Time in Kankakee from the WVLI Podcast Network. I'm Jake Lamore. Lou Perakis is 82 years old. He was born in Greece and moved to the United States in 1954. 5 years after arriving, Lou was living on the south side of Chicago. In 1959, on the opening day of pheasant season, his older brother John decided they should head south to Kankakee County. Lou was 17, and as he puts it, he was just trailing along.
Yeah, I just decided to trail along for some reason or other, not that I was some kind of a hunter or enthusiast or anything. So just decided to go along with him for the ride, so... Waking up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, groggy. We drive out to Kankakee looking for some place to hunt.
To understand why Lou was in the car at 5 in the morning, you have to understand John. John was 8 years older than Lou, and in Lou's eyes, he was in a class all his own.
He and I were very close. We're about 8 years apart. But ever since I can remember being 10, 11, 12 years old, he would always take me with his friends, whether it was to the Sox game, the Cubs game, or if they would go out socially. I would kind of tag along. I was their little mascot, as it were. And as I say, John was overprotective of me.
But overprotective didn't mean John was soft. In fact, he was the kind of guy who didn't know how to turn off his competitive streak, no matter who he was playing against.
He was just one of these very competitive type guys. He would play basketball and football with the kids. Kids, I'm talking about 6, 7 years old. He's a grown man, and he would have tackle football with them. And God forbid you got in front of him when he was trying to score on basketball. If you were a 6-year-old kid, he would run right over you. So...
This was the man behind the wheel as they drove into Aroma Park. A competitive prankster who didn't take no for an answer. After being turned away by several farmers, they found a farmhouse with a giant billboard. It said, "Private property," and positively no hunting. Most people would see a barrier. John, he saw a challenge.
My brother, as we're driving along, slams on the brakes and pulls to the side of the road and says, "This looks like a good place to hunt." Now me at 17, 18 years old, being the reasonable one, I'm trying to explain to him that, hey, there's a big sign over here.
That's when John revealed his strategy. It was a plan that leaned heavily on their status as relatively new immigrants.
He says, "Nah," I says, "don't worry about a thing. If anybody approaches me, I'm just going to start speaking Greek to them, tell them that I just got off of the boat from the old country and I couldn't read the sign.
John flipped the fence and headed into the fields. Lou, however, had seen enough. He tried to do a little hunting on his own, shooting at sparrows on a nearby property, but he got bored quickly. He went back to the car, found it locked, and decided to lay down on the grass for a nap. Lou's nap was interrupted when he felt someone reaching across him. His voluntary impulse was to grab the arm and yank. He soon realized he just performed a takedown on a game warden. While Lou was being held in a squad car, he watched his brother emerge from the corn.
I can see him walking in from the fields, and John thought he had died and gone to heaven because he's got an armload of pheasants. Well, John's got a half a dozen birds over there, and he could care less what they are.
Lou didn't have his license on him. He'd left his wallet on a dresser in Chicago. He was put in a squad car and watched as his brother John emerged from the corn with a handful of illegal pheasants. But while Lou was headed to jail, John's luck, which Lou calls his horseshoe, held out. John threw the extra birds into the field, showed his license, and walked away scot-free.
John, it's got a horseshoe. He was just on private property, trespassing. They didn't arrest him. They just took the birds that he had killed away from him. He had his hunting license. He was out there hunting. They never said a word to him. No fine, no arrest, no nothing.
While John walked away scot-free, Lou was taken to Kankakee to be processed. But since it was Saturday, the courtroom was actually a bar and a dance hall in Aroma Park. This is the part Lou remembers most vividly.
It's a small bar. There's a couple guys sitting at the bar over there, and there's an old man behind the bar with a dirty white apron. And I go up there and says, "Excuse me, can you tell me where the judge is?" He says, "What'd you do, boy?" Forget about what I did. Is the judge anywhere around? He says, "Come on with me." We walk around the back. He takes off the apron, puts on the black robe, and we're sitting there in this kitchen. You got to be kidding me. Well, where's the cameras? Is this candid camera here or something? Are you guys pulling a prank on me?
It wasn't a prank. The bartender sat Lou down at the kitchen table and delivered the bill.
I'll make an exception. It would be a $100 fine and $50 court cost. Hey, court cost? I'm looking around the kitchen over there. He says, "Be more than happy to show you my court this evening for about $200. So I looked at my brother. I said, "John, pay the man, and let's get out of here, for crying out loud."
They went back to the station to pick up Lou's shotgun. Lou recalls seeing nearly 100 other guns there. The county was clearly doing brisk business that Saturday. As they drove back to the south side of Chicago, the tension evaporated.
Actually, I say by the time we drove home, it was just a big funny story. Every time they asked me to go hunting with them, we'd relive the incident. So.
But for Lou, once was enough. He never went back into the fields with a gun.
That was the first time hunting, yeah.
Oh my gosh,
that makes it even. That was the last time hunting.
First and last time. Lou went on to have a long career in the insurance business, often returning to Kankakee for work. He still laughs about the restaurant Sam and Ella's. But mostly, the story is a way to remember a brother who was truly a class of his own.
You had to kind of appreciate John. He was just in a class all of his own. I say nothing but fond memories.
This One Time in Kankakee is a production of the WVLI Podcast Network. Our deepest thanks to Lou Perakis for sharing his story and to his son Bill Perakis for the introduction. This episode was edited, produced, and hosted by me, Jake Lamore. If you have a story you'd like to share, drop me an email at jake@milnermediapartners.com and finish this sentence for me. This one time in Kankakee. Listen to all of today's local news in one place.
Checking your WVLI news, I'm Rob West.
The WVLI News Update brings you the day's news in 10 minutes or less. Clear, credible, and on your schedule. Follow now wherever you get your podcasts or at WVLI927.com and click on air. It's all part of the new WVLI Podcast Network. The voices you trust beyond the dial.